such an asshole.
All right, we got one I had to sit and take notes because on the onset, the initial pass at the question, I'm like, oh, that should be, and then it should be pretty easy. And I sat and thought about, no, this is a little more complex than that because we're talking about two distinct variables, which would result in one of those quad graphs, like the political compass map. And especially in the context of the question, I had to kind of define these terms only in this context. There are others, so kind of really focusing and being narrow. So here's the question. Hi, Aaron. Oh, wait, where we go? Dennis writes, hi, Aaron. Just read your post, Violence and Revenge in Modern America. Most people indeed suck in many ways, which degrades our society and quality of life. What are your thoughts on differentiating stupid from evil people? And I'm like, well, that's not, you could be stupid and evil. You could be intelligent and evil. You could be intelligent and good. You can be chaotic neutral. No, you can't be. That's the opposite. You could be lawful good, whatever the ones were in Dungeons and Dragons. And so I was like, boy, there's a lot of evil and stupid people in the country, some of which are both. Some of which are stupid and, just evil. Some of which are intelligent and evil. So I was like, huh. How to deal with them besides being stoic and avoidant? Are there any more practical strategies? I mean, like the art of not giving an F, managing the F's to give. I like to manage my number of taxing interactions with people. Yes, absolutely. Careful. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I don't know if I got in my notes. I did take some notes. You try to critically assess very quickly whether or not they're either evil or stupid. Right? Doesn't mean you can't hang out with dumb people. I mean, but you usually want, like dumb is doing drugs dumb? Yes. Is it evil? Probably not. But dumb people will leave like a crack bag in your car and not know it. That kind of thing. But quickly assessing if they're evil and or dumb or both. That's the number one, so you don't waste your time. For instance, dating a foreigner would inherently limit contact with your family. Ordering groceries online and traveling by car limits the number of unnecessary interactions. Right, that's wholesale ignoring of society, which I'm for, man. I'm for. I mean, most of the, I'm going to go through my notes. 85% of the people I think are dumb and evil. They're too stupid to know they're evil, but they're lazy enough to know that, well, I'll have cognitive dissonance and still take away other people's money. Your thoughts are like a video response. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. Wherever relevant, standing up to evil people helps too. Yeah, that calling them on their BS, giving them the eye, say, you're not intimidating me. I mean, that shuts them down and they get pissed. But they'll never hit you, especially if they know you're armed. Your thoughts, I'd like a video response. Thanks and have fun venting. Cheers. I don't know if it's going to be a vent. All right. So let's go through this. All right. The two are separate. All right. You could be dumb and evil, neither nor. All right. So I'm going to define evil as people who have no problem stealing other people's lives for their own. Now, what that it generally means theft. But as an economist, I like to eliminate the concept of money or things. Well, they just stole your car. It's just a car. No, that was 6 months of my labor. That was my life. That's why when people say it's just money, man, I want to punch them in the face. Like, you're evil. There's one right off the bat. Anyone says it's just money, it's like, it's just your life. That's an evil mofo right there. But when people have no problem, like they don't feel remorse, like someone who doesn't want to steal but needs to live, in that rare instance, more modernly, they probably aren't evil. They're pitted like, I got to survive, right? In that philosophical case. But generally, and you can see, this is most people. This is 85% of the people. Most people are so lazy. That's where it comes from. They're lazy. And they're so afraid of work that they have no problem making other people work harder so that they can survive. So this could be outright theft. It could be slavery. Like, we just talked about Bass Reeves. They're slavery. That's evil. The slave owners were evil. I don't care. Oh, that's just their culture. No, they were evil. The Romans enslaving everybody, evil. It's the peak of hubris that you think other people should work for you so you don't have to work. I would say any form, well, and then not just slavery in an outright definitional sense, but that's essentially what you're doing. Let's explain it very clearly. If you think you're entitled to other people's time, you're making them your partial slave. All right. I'm partially enslaved to all the single mom whores of America who think they deserve free government this and free government that and EBT because whatever reason, the reason is inconsequential. All right. You are partially enslaved to corrupt government, makes the military budget too high, wherever the wasted spending and corruption and bribes go. Right. So we're all kind of enslaved to other people a little bit. But just because you're not an actual slave on a plantation with chains around your neck doesn't mean you're not enslaved to these evil people. So theft or slavery, part-time slavery, that's how I'd like to define it, so we're very clear. And then any individual action that would fit that definition. Bailouts. I don't care if you're a banker or a student, college student debate. You're a thief. You're evil. Right? And then added hubris and arrogance, which makes you super evil in my mind, is where you are offended that I dare that you pay your money back. And I'm called names and all the mental acrobatics and pejoratives people come up with for people to just say, pay me back my money. That kind of stuff. And the bankers, the hubris and arrogance where they were like living large. I saw the balance sheet, guys. These people didn't have any money. They're just taking your money, living large and acting like again, I am perfectly, no, I'm not perfectly okay. I would rather have your stereotypical black dude collected a government check, sitting on the porch, drinking his booze, playing his video games, than some arrogant, pompous, liberal white bitch from the suburbs whose daddy, I was living off a debt, sweetheart. And then she takes out $250,000 for a law degree, doesn't pay it back, and has the hubris and arrogance to lecture the rest of society how the world should be. The black dude leaves me alone, except for me having to pay money. The liberal white, I almost said it. The liberal white bitch, the parasite, has the arrogance to lecture and lord the rest, even make it their ideology. And that gets to another final fourth group of people, is anyone with a leftist or parasitic ideology. Because it's one thing to be a parasite. It's another one to make it your freaking religion and be proud. And then all more modernly, the acrobatics that go into traitism, where I have trait X, people without trait X are oppressing me, give me more of non-trait X people's money. That cowardice adds on top of the hypocrisy and the outright evil and theft. So we could talk about today what that looks like. The Romans were a little bit more blunt. Yeah, you're a slave now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yep, I'm the evil guy. I don't care. Evil. But then I'm a quadriplegic, transsexual, black lesbian. And it's the other people that aren't that are oppressing me. And even though I've never supported myself, I've been nothing but a parasite my entire life, I'm going to tell you how it is, and you're a bad person and an instant. Those people are the most evilest mother effers out there. All right? But that's how I would define evil, is when you think you have the right or you don't care that you're taking other people's life away from them so that you could live. Or buy boats if you're a banker, or prestigious liberal arts degree, the college experience. I don't know what's more arrogant, the bankers that bought the boats or these truly stupid people who paid 4 years to go to a party and have adults lie to them and tell them that they're intelligent. I don't know which one is more arrogant, but I do know I want them to go swim with cinder blocks around their belts in Minecraft to Japan. That's what I want them to do. Then when it comes to intelligence, as we're talking about it here, I define that as how good you are at accurately recognizing reality and developing a strategy that capitalizes on that reality. Notice there's no morality here. This isn't evil or good. All right. And so intelligence is, I would almost say there's a little, as we're talking about here, bravery and courage. Oh, crap, I got to work hard and do that. Well, I better get cracking now. That takes a little bit of bravery and courage. The cowards, like, what do math? I'm just not a math person. I'm kind of a big idea guy. Get my MBA, bro. Going into sales. Crypto, bro, to the moon. That kind of stuff. You're ignoring reality. So there's a lack of courage. But truly intelligent people have the ability to assess the real world around them, and then formulate a strategy like, okay, how do I capitalize on this? Not in a moral way, not in an immoral way. That's whether they're evil or not. If you're good, you sit now, okay, now how do I, okay, usually it really results in entrepreneurship, delivering a good or a service or product that people willingly give you money. The evil people come up with ways to put a gun to people's head via the government to give you their money. That's basically it. I mean, in today's world. So it doesn't have anything to do with good or evil. It's just how good you are at assessing the reality around you and maneuvering and capitalizing and coming up with a strategy within that. So then we go like, okay, how do you identify? Let me get to the categories here. All right, so let's say you are intelligent plus evil. Okay, that's the worst kind. Well, I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, okay. So if you're intelligent and evil, it's going to be hard to identify them because the main thing you do is mask your evil intentions. For example, Hillary Clinton is not dumb. Now, she's not that smart either, but compared to a Norman, she's pretty intelligent. And the Democrats at Joe can lie like, oh yeah, we got these studies. Oh, academia came out. Oh yeah, it's the other people, the white man, the men, the patriarch, whatever. And they speak very well, and they can convince the sheep to go and vote for them and put them into power. All right. There was another kind of dichotomy called the devils and the dupes, and it describes any leftist party, whether you're a politician or the sheep. The devils are the ones that know what they're doing. Like for Paul Krugman is a perfect example, a highly intelligent evil man. He damn well knows that all of his research and all of his public is BS. He just knows that if he tells you like Austrian economics, real world economics, he's not gonna get the contracts. He's not gonna get most of economics. Most economists, if you look at IQs by majors, economists are up there. And most economists are evil because they're like, oh yeah, Keynesianism, print off more money, money printer go burr, modern monetary theory. Oh no, this time is different. Whereas deep down inside, if you have, you can't look at all that data and like, yeah, this socialism thing doesn't work. So they could come up with, and perhaps they make brilliant propagandists. Goebbels, brilliant propagandist, brilliant man. Evil, but brilliant. Politicians, not Joe Biden necessarily, not even Donald Trump, but savvy politics, perhaps political strategists. But they mask their intention. You could spin it to make it look good. Marketers, whether that's selling you cigarettes or selling you girls' worthless master's degrees, or even worse, the Sex in the City or the I gotta salute them. The people like Coach or Jimmy Choo, not to slam on these people, but Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and they fool guys too. How do you get a woman to part with $5,000 for a handbag? That's some intelligent evil shit right there, man. You got to apply. That's bravo. Bravo. Fat acceptance, whoever's promoting that, bravo. I mean, that's where I'm kind of in Operation Evil. You know, it could be argued that, well, and then you're being evil and you're taking other people's money. And I would argue on a philosophical standpoint, but are they really intelligent? Would they subscribe to a regimen or a prescription of vegetables and diet and exercise? No, they're not going to do that. So I would argue they're not even sentient and they're more like cattle, but that's out here. But the point I'm saying is there's some ways really intelligent people come up with to convince people not as smart as them to essentially enslave themselves to them. Professors in big education. Holy cow. They got like 2.5 full generations to go $100,000 each in a debt to get the college experience. Meanwhile, and even the professors don't make that much, but the admins do. Holy cow. How much? You want to talk about a wealth transfer? You want to talk about smart? Most professors are not that smart, but the college admin, Democrat Party, oh yeah, very intelligent. And so it's masking the intent, usually saying it's good for you. Oh, big is beautiful, you know, or convincing more commonly in my day. Oh yeah, you need a Nike high tops. Oh, the fat black woman singing, she's cool. She is. And in intellectual honesty, hey, those dirtbags up on the stage with the long hair singing that song with their guitar, you know, and their other song, woo! Dude, man, did you go to the Where'd my notes go? Did I drop them? Oh, here it is. Marketing is, oh yeah. So it's harder to find the intelligent evil person because they know what they're doing and they're not going to tell. And the smarter you get, the harder is it. Like Hannibal Lecter. Like there's that one episode where they didn't know who it was. I think it had Edward Norton in it. It wasn't until the end that they figured out it was him. That's criminal mastermind, the Joker level stuff. Although the Joker kind of was pretty obvious and blatant about his intentions. But if you're just talking about like a boss, your professors, your standard boomers, oh my God. There they took advantage of you, like, because you're young and stupid. They're my elders, they know better. That's it. I don't know if I want to call it intelligence, but you're more intelligent than a 17-year-old kid. Those are the people, those are the most dangerous. Those are the ones who you could argue is what keeps America and every other civilization from advancing and achieving its full potential. So it takes a while to figure out, but that's what a combination of intelligence and evil looks like. You won't know it, but man, the hair on your neck goes up. And we'll get to like kind of like how do you identify a little bit, but it's those people can hide it for a long time. Or what's his name? The guy that hoodwinked all you, Bernie Madoff, that guy. And then you got intelligent and dumb. Dumb people are easy to identify. They don't assess the real world around them and they make stupid choices. They get pregnant before they, can afford a child. I won't say get married, but find a committed partner. Dumb people get married. Dumb people go to college for stupid degrees. Dumb people go into debt for stupid degrees. Dumb people go into debt for cars they can't afford. Dumb people are so easily hoodwinked by the movies that they're in, the media and marketing. They actually, like, I didn't understand, like, as a kid, I watch a commercial like this doesn't make me want to buy it. It just annoys me because they're delaying the A-Team coming on. Well, did commercials go away because it didn't work? No. Commercials work great. Dumb people, believe things that are just patently false. Like every woman that believes big is beautiful and body positivity and health at any size, you are dumb. Which to me, I think is like, okay, if you're going to be that dumb, and if I try to help you out, you call me names and I'm bad, then I have every right to. So now you're like going into cattle, and that's where really you got to start looking at them as cattle. This is where I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm kind of around a corner and I could see the light at the end of the tunnel where I'm debating whether truly stupid people, the NPCs, are human, not in a genetic sense. Yes, they're human, but if you're just a robot doing what society tells you, like, are you really human? Maybe you have a soul in a spiritual or religious sense, but if I can predict you, like I say this, and I know your reaction is going to be that. Is there any intelligence there? Is there a mind there? I guess, is there a human intellect that I can interact with? Or is this just literally I press A and I get B? That kind of thing. So dumb people will do dumb things. They don't have the intelligence to be aware that they'll spill their hand. They'll show you, they'll tip their hand and you'll know exactly, that's a dumb person. People getting fat and overweight. People getting fat and overweight thinking they deserve a member of the opposite sex. People majoring in dumb crap. People spending more than they make. People who can't, like full-grown adults who still play the high school popularity game like they got to play Keeping Up with the Joneses. There's other things like literal tests, like, okay, that person has a degree in petroleum engineering. All right, well, they're obviously intelligent. This girl has a degree in social justice studies. All right, you're a complete freaking moron, and you're evil because your entire money-making operation is live off of other people. You're not going to produce anything of value. So the dumb people, you'll pretty quickly be able to assess them based on what they say and what they do because it's not congruent with reality. But then you get evil and dumb, because we're just talking about dumb. You get evil and dumb. Well, it's just one notch over, just a little click for them to say, and I deserve other people's money. And I'd say this accounts the evil and dumb population is probably 85% of the people. Because they're not smart enough to overcome their laziness, and therefore laziness is the primary driver of all their decisions. And since laziness is, well, I don't want to work, right? That means you have no moral qualm about taking other people's money, and you're very susceptible to leftist, socialist, Democrat talking points of it's those people over there and it's not your fault. I remember one time, this is a long time ago, I was in college, and there's this middle-aged woman, and I can't remember what we were talking about. It wasn't even a political class. So about healthcare came up, and she says, well, I have 2 kids and I can't afford healthcare, and that's a violation of my rights. And I wanted to say, lady, I didn't F you. How is this my? She said, oh, it's a crime. That's a crime. It's like, there's evil and dumb for you. But that's most people. Everyone wants to get bailed out of the student loans. Everyone wants to get bailed out. The banker bailout, yes, it bailed out the banks, but what it ultimately bailed out was the dumb people they lent money to had no hopes of paying it back. That as well. They forget to tell you that. What else? Just you're talking to people at parties if you go there and they don't have anything intelligent to say. That doesn't necessarily mean they're evil, but they are dumb. But it always gravitates to self-serving, boring leftist victimhood ideology. The house parties I went to as younger. Yeah, okay, you're either a Democrat or you weren't popular. It's so tiring and stupid. And it's so common. It's just like, oh, we need more money for the children. I go to the checkout lane. Would you like to round up? No. Do we have any intelligence to say we haven't solved the problem? What? Stop throwing money at it. I mean, do we need another 30 trillion tossed at the welfare state to know that government doesn't work? No, they just want. And here's another thing. Give you an example. Well, they just want to help people. That's not evil. No, it is evil. Okay, if they did it with their own money. But let me give you the liberal white woman. Give you a perfect example. You're your standard liberal Marxist white woman from the suburbs who's had no problems. The most privileged group in the history of the world by the real definition of privilege. And you'd say, well, why would she vote, or advocate to help the poor? She's rich. She's got no. It's not going to be her money. She wants to vote to take other people's money. Not so she even gets well, she's not going to get the money. She must be holy and noble and righteous and kind and good. No, she doesn't give a damn about the poor black people. She wants to be popular. But she ain't going to work for it. She has no problems, however, voting for other hardworking Americans to help out whatever crusade or cause so that she could feel good and virtue signal. Like, if I'm stealing something, I'm stealing money for me. All right. I'm not forcing other people to pay money so I can feel good about myself. I'm like, nah, just give me the money, man. I'm not that arrogant. I'm not, but there you go. It could be like, well, I want to enslave other people so I can feel good about myself. Every liberal white woman ever. Well, every liberal pretty much ever, more modernly today. And so that's your evil and dumb. Now, how to identify them? And I don't have the answers to everything. Okay, the first thing is wait and observe. The dumb people are gonna ID themselves very quickly because they do dumb things. They say dumb things on the internet, and then you'll also be able to figure out whether they're evil rather quickly. Are they making excuses for themselves? Do they have a victimhood mentality? Do they think it's all right to just take other people's money and enslave others unto them? And they don't have the intelligence to put it that way, but yeah. We got to vote for my share. It's the corporations, man. No, you're a fat pothead who lives at home with your mom. You're a lazy sack of shit. It isn't the corporations. My God, you want go on Twitter and just look at like genuine socialists. Dude, they still blame the corporations. The corporations have become so woke, they're still blaming the corporations. And you look at their profiles like, yeah, you look like Vaush. Yeah, you're just a fat, lazy sack of crap. But his parents had money. But you'll be able to figure out the dumb people, whether they're intelligent or not, rather quickly, and whether or not they're evil. You know, whether they're a hardworking, well, I just drive the bus, or I just, whatever, a not terribly intelligent industry is. They work hard and like, no, I worked hard in it. Maybe I'm just a degenerate, but I work hard. And okay, that's a good, but maybe not the smartest person ever. The intelligent people, whether they're good or evil, that takes a little bit while to figure out, because intelligent people will mask their intentions, and not even, and good intelligent people will do it too. Like, it's called hiding your power level. Like, one thing, if I ever had millions of dollars, like, if you ever win the lottery, you don't tell anyone. It's not because you're evil. You don't tell anyone. A lot of reasons people donate anonymously is they don't want people knowing they got the money. That's another reason. So that's a good and noble thing, but smart people, they don't want to be identified necessarily whether they have money, intelligence, or what. There's an advantage in not everybody knowing. The more information people have about you, the more damage that could be done to you. There's no advantage there. So it's not necessarily good or evil if you just kind of keep to yourself and hide your cards. Evil, intelligent people, they got to hide it. They got to mask it. Whether it's running a Ponzi scheme like Bernie Madoff, whether it's being a Democrat politician and enslaving black people in their true lowest standard of living, you got to come up with the lies. You got to put on a facade. You got to put on a front. Oh, wear a suit. They're your, what is it, sociopaths or psychopaths? I never knew that. Sociopath is like you have no care for humans, but you can navigate fluidly within social situations. Is that correct? Truly vile, evil people. And there you got to wait them out. And here it also helps, it kind of takes one to know one. You got to be a really smart person to catch them. This is where like forensics and detective work comes in, where I know this is boring, but there are several clever accountants who were not more clever than me trying to lie on tax returns, essentially, to me, where I'm like looking at the receipts that they got, and I'm like looking, I'm like, this doesn't add up. Oh, I see what you did there. How clever. I've even gone through academic studies where it's like, oh, you forgot to carry the one there, I see. Or there was a little mistake which gave you the complete opposite because you switched it from a negative to a positive. I see what you did there, but your average schmuck on the street ain't going to see it. And so here's where investigation, time, and catching them. And it's like, do you want to investigate them? Sometimes you have to because it's your job, or you're being asked to invest either time or resources with them. So you have to investigate. But a lot of times you could just wait it out, see what happens. Like, that FTX guy. Don't tell me what the fan. Here's what I do believe in physiognomy a little bit, where I'm like, yeah, I don't trust babyface Nelson over there. I don't trust the douchebag with that kind of hair and disheveled looks. Oh, yeah, you're in charge of $1 billion crypto thing. Okay, sure, buddy. A little bit obvious there. But somebody with a nice suit, nice smile, a true con man, a true charlatan, those guys can mask the tracks really well, or women too. And so there's just more time. But there's usually a couple things that will stand out on an evil person who's very intelligent. Something just doesn't add up. I'll give you a perfect example. Great example. Investment bankers, at least in the day, were rather intelligent. Not super intelligent, rather intelligent. And I remember in the dot-com days, a common sales tactic to get investment bankers to invest in some no-name startup.com company that had no shot whatsoever making money. The IT people would come in with their sales guys trying to lobby this particular investment bank or angel group, investor group to give them their money and invest with them. They would talk really fast. I worked with one of these companies. They didn't even explain to me, like, well, why does this product work? Who needs it? They couldn't even explain it to me. It didn't matter. I was doing finance work, but in any case, they would talk over the technology aspect of it. using words that were technical, but your average investment banker didn't know. And they'd say, "We understand this might be a little bit more advanced for people in finance, but da, 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 da." Oh, yeah? Well, we'll show you because we're investment bankers. Our penises are super small. Here's your damn money. And it's like, oh, you guys all got caught with your pants down. And these guys, the whole plan was to start a company, start an get an IPO, get all the money, pay themselves a gobsmack of money as the corporate executive team. And it didn't work. Bye. And this executive team would walk away with millions of dollars for 3 years worth of work, acting like they ran a company. And the investment bankers and all their underlying investors were wiped out. So that's an example of intelligence. So you gotta, something doesn't add up. Something smells fishy. And you're kind of like, it doesn't make sense. And so you got to kind of like wait it out. Now you could do research, you could do investigation, and depending on where it is. I'm more from a forensic accounting standpoint, where I had to find the way Thaddeus McPutycock over in Lake Minnetonka was lying on his tax statements. Okay, so I kind of was pigeonholed into accounting forensics that way. But if you're talking about social situations, interacting with people, you just got to wait, or you go and do your own investigation. The internet has made that very easy, very, very clear, because people can't keep up the act for long, either because their scam fails or there's an inevitable point where the punchline comes and they got to make off with the money and escape the cops. Or they know the jig is going to be up at some point, but hopefully they're in Brazil earning 20%. Sitting on a beach, earning 20%. But you got to wait them out, and you don't invest in them until you figure it out. And so you could Google search the hell out of it. Social media, absolutely, because usually, unless they're really good, really intelligent, and that's the dangerous ones. They're evil, they're intelligent, but they're not arrogant. And those are the ones that they don't have to show. All the James Bond villains, they always had to tell James Bond the brilliance of their scheme because they had to show how brilliant they were. There's an element of that with evil, intelligent people. And they'll tip their hand on social media. But again, I know this sounds so basic, but it's true. Are you a Democrat? You're for a party that wants to take other people's money. Like David Hogg is such a perfect example. That's Mr. I'm going to dance on the graves of my students that got shot in a school, where he's noble and he can't help but be a crusader, show how good he is being against guns. And he wasted his time at Harvard getting some joke of a degree. They'll show you their hand. I don't know. Anything where they advocate parasitism, anything where they try to look like they're saying the good thing to be, anyone who tries to be popular. Another one example, so many examples. Now, this is fiction, but a perfect example would be The Boys. If you've ever watched the show The Boys, the superheroes are all good and squeaky clean. Meanwhile, they're accidentally and sometimes intentionally murdering innocent civilians, and the boys got to go and expose them. Well, the boys are going up against the superheroes, the America's sweethearts. Oh my gosh, how can you do that? That's horrible. I've never trusted squeaky clean people. Never. You're too good. There's no dirt on you. Don't give me that. Absolutely not. Don't give me that. Yeah, just something like you're not human. Something ain't right. You're just too clean. You're just too clean. And those people are like with their fake smiles, like this guy's on to me. And then finally, I don't know what situation would call for it, but sometimes you can, it's not bluffing them or calling on their bluff, but just letting through be like, I would get a couple people. I think these were, I know for a fact they were evil and intelligent. They got a sense, man. Intelligent people know when a bull in a china shop like me comes in. There's this one guy in particular I worked with, a couple guys actually, not there, but one guy that comes to mind now. He just hated me right off the bat. I'm like, why does this guy hate me? Like legit haven't done, and they know, like I'm a bullshit detector. I think they know like he's going to figure me out. He's going to expose me. And the truth is I couldn't care less about this guy. This guy's just a dick. And they know. And if you're smart enough or you're just couth enough or you're paying attention, you just know these. What is it? Joker posted, for, I think the same one. I know the squealers, and then he points at their Japanese affiliate overseas. Some evil people know when there's a guy or a gal in the room that can smell and identify them. I don't know how they do it. It's instinct or something. But if someone starts hating on you right away and you haven't done anything, like, okay, something's wrong here. But there's always something doesn't add up. They're too good. They're too clean. They're too nice. They're too scripted. They say to write the right thing. They're too Homelander. Some ain't adding up. And I wish I had more concrete examples. You like I said, go on the internet, see if they're saying all the right things. You can go Google stalk them. Look up the criminal record. Absolutely. Sometimes you got a criminal. How often do you look up people's criminal record? You probably don't. But there's always, you get in and you're like, you ever have I know this is going to sound horrible. Like, if society was collapsing, this would be the first person I'd have to kill because he's going to put everyone else in danger. Like, this guy is up to no good. No good. I guess that's instinct. In civilized society, you can't do much about it, but have nothing to do with that guy. Record all your, if you're in a working environment, email. Don't call me, email. That should be your standard. Nope. Email me. I want a record. I'm sick and tired of you boomer psychopaths and sociopaths. Like, well, I told you to do that. No, you literally told me the opposite. Right here on January 12th at 2:27 p.m. But yeah, there's now you're starting to get into instinct and things that the human mind operate at a level that I can't understand or identify. But people that are too clean, nope, something about that. And so, yeah, that's how I would define, identify, and then how to deal with. Your approach is great because let's put it this way: there could be some good dumb people in society. You're still dealing with dumb people. You're still wasting your time. I don't care if the checkout lady who's taking forever to scan my items is a Republican. She's still dumb and still taking my time. So in America in general, in the West in general, you invest as little time into people as possible, evil or not. All right. And then, whether it's dating or a career, degree choice, I don't know, any kind of serious investment of your time, be very cynical and skeptical before investing too much. You're like, almost, can I do this on my own? I can invest in the S&P 500 or a target date fund. I don't need Bernie Madoff getting me an extra 5% pro. I don't need this, FTX or VTX or whatever the hell it was. I don't need that, man. And just generally having as little to do with people as possible will obviously, through sheer numbers, prevent you from doing that. But yeah, I would just, but beyond that, I would Google search the hell out of these people. Never invest so much money and time that you lose all your mind. Just really stay away from these people. And then I would say, how do you deal with this? I know this is going to sound like Operation Evil because it is, but if people are dumb and arrogant, all right, not dumb and good, dumb and arrogant, what I think is perfectly moral in my book is selling a book that encourages fat acceptance, women getting fatter and taking pride and self-love and all that. The reason why is they are not going to listen to anything but that. This is where I have a hard time believing drug dealers are evil. Drug dealers aren't the ones putting the needles in people's arms. They're just supplying it. It's up to the other people to do their drugs. I don't even think doing drugs is evil. No, that's up to you. That's your choice. But if you can make money off of it, go ahead. If you can get women to part with $5,000 for a pair of shoes, go ahead, man. What? Go ahead, do it. By God, do it. I even had the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex, where I scripted a menu for women on what their lives could be without men. And it was very solidly feminist. I even thought that I advanced some ideas of feminism for women to find other value. And if you go through it, a lot of you be like, well, this is horrible advice. It's going to make their lives miserable. And unto you, I ask, would they listen to anything else? And so the dumb people, if they're evil, or they're dumb to a fault where there ain't introducing anything. That's just water going through well, not through. It's water going over a waterfall that's going to go over that waterfall. All I'm saying is put an electric generator into that water as it falls down. Something good might as well come out of their lives. Because if it's not your snake oil salesman, it's somebody else's. And I know that's probably not moral in many people's mind here, but I'm sorry. My life has been so affected poorly because of stupid and evil people and stupid people in general. I'm like, no, I'm getting some of my tax dollars back, man. I'm getting some of my frustration back from you idiots. And so that's how I would capitalize on the dumb and evil. But capitalizing on the evil and intelligent, man, you just got to avoid them. Unless like you're even smarter than them, like Sherlock Holmes, and you get them in their own trap. There's a couple movies like that where they trap the super intelligent bad guy with the super intelligent good hero. Like maybe if you could do that, or if you want to, you could become like law enforcement. Like you capture the bad guys, you capture the Bernie Madoffs, you capture the Black Lives Matter scam artists. I think there's like 2 whole investigations going on. Like, yeah, that's good. 2 whole investigation. That's good. But in general, evil or not, dumb or not, society has degraded and decayed to a point you want to have as little to do with them as possible because it's not economic. And just avoiding that and making sure you don't get involved, until you vet them thoroughly. I think that's the best way to do with the evil and intelligent people. And that's about it. All right. If you kindly would, subscribe to the channel. We got 272 people. Also, link below is links to Achieving Financial Excellence. That way you can manage your financial life without having to rely on the Bernie Madoffs. Please take that course. It's $99. Available through Teachable. And then my Amazon affiliate link is down there as well. It doesn't cost you anything, but people are like, does it cost me more? No, it doesn't cost you more. I just get a 5% cut from Jeff Bezos, right? Oh, Lefty Bezos, right? You want some of his money? Go buy all your stuff through my Amazon affiliate program with the computer, not your cell phone. What's so boomer? I know. And no, I don't know what you buy. People are like, do you find out I buy, big black dildos? No, I do not. They don't tell me what you bought. There we go. All right, let's get to the super chats if we have any. Scrolling. Keep those. Hey, somebody who should be in busy season is not doing busy season stuff. Generation of Powell, $5. Never trust those who are easily fooled into believing absurdities. They're the weak point for the corruption to take root. Correct. Correct. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $2. Easy way to look at most leftist politicians. Yeah. I mean, Ocasio-Cortez is a truly stupid woman. I mean, just one of the dumbest people ever. I know she obviously has a handler. Joe Biden at one time might have been intelligent. He just lost his marbles. So there are obviously intelligent people running these people. But Nancy Pelosi is incredibly intelligent. What's her name? The one whose husband banged other women, but it was all right because he was a Democrat. Hillary Clinton, very intelligent. They're smart, evil people, yeah. They just don't have any morals. And another example of an incredibly intelligent leftist woman is Paul Krugman. Funny. Shahswat Misra, 200 rupees. Comparing intentions and outcome of actions would help decide and detect. Yes. What are they? I mean, you judge everybody by their actions. That's going to tell you inevitably what is. But sometimes people's actions can look good and wholesome until there's like that final switch at the end. That's where the evil, intelligent, but not arrogant ones. Those are the ones, those are the true criminal masterminds. Those are the ones that make off with the the Federal Reserve money or something. And then they don't flaunt it. Like, here, you want a hot take? Here's a hot take. If not Adam, Andrew Tate just shut the hell up and took his money, they're not going to get him on the, what is it, the sex trafficking? They're not going to get him on that because I don't believe that happened. That I believe is BS. That guy flaunting that money, yeah, tax evasion. I'm pretty sure. We won't know. There'll have to be an investigation. I'm not saying he's guilty, but that's where your hubris and there's a perfect example of hubris and arrogance, which I know was his marketing and his shtick, but then you better make sure your finances are tight. Like your business plan, I'm going to be an arrogant, cocky dude, bro, dick on the internet. And then I'm going to like have meticulous accounting records and pay my taxes in advance. That's where it's like, yeah, you don't flash it. Like the smart old timer who just goes and gambles at the casino once in a while and never has to worry about working again because he made off with 10 million in a bank heist in Mexico one time. That's the guy who drives a Ford. That's your guy you got to worry about. But they're probably not so arrogant. They probably do a one and done. But yes, intentions and outcomes. Sloyd Slimy, $2. Isn't that how we perceive life anyway? How's that, Sloyd? What do you mean how we perceive, like, people do what they say they're going to do? Right. Scrolling. Alex Bogey, $5. A lot of people on the right who are ill say that they deserve Social Security and disability because they paid into the system. That's not an illogical argument. They did pay. They did pay. And people on the right did vote against it. You know, it's kind of like, Aaron, I'm a Republican or a Libertarian. I qualify for this government aid. Should I take it? And I said, did you vote against it? And they say, yes. I'm like, you have every legal right to take it. Now it's practical. Like, yeah, take the money. Because society voted to make it legal. And you voted against it, so you're morally clean as far as I'm concerned. And it is true. People did pay into the system. I just say, yeah, but then you voted politicians who took it all away and pissed it all away. Well, I'm on a fix. It's more of one, that is a moral argument, but now we go into the world of practicality where it's like, yeah, but the money ain't there, or we're going to have to print it, and then inflation is going to go up, and so it's not going to buy as much as you want. And I want to know, here's what I'd like to know. Do they know how much they paid into the system? Like, so that then okay, I paid in $173,000. And then after 20 years, they get $173,000 adjusted for inflation out. You say, okay, you got to stop withdrawing, right? Now you got your money back. Well, and then you realize, okay, I know I'm painting a very simple picture, but it's erroneous. Just because you're a Republican doesn't mean you're a scumbag. There are obviously Republican corrupt scumbags out there. There's no doubt about it. I knew a bunch of Republicans who, well, not a bunch, one family in particular that drove around in Mercedes and Porsches because they wanted to be popular. And then it turns out they're on welfare and collecting EBT. I'm like, those are hypocrites. Those are scumbags. Is that it? We caught up? Oh, no, here we go. Alex Patino, our truck driver Latino agent in the field with a very nice number, $7.62. Beer money, you were mansplaining too much. On AOC, her pimp is Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is not that bright. He is not that bright. He is a truly dumb man. He's a rich kid from, I believe it was Vermont. He worked a week as a carpenter, and his parents are long dead, but he's still sucking. He goes to his mom's graves and sucks on her pruny, decayed tits just to get some more milk because he's that weak ass of a man. He is not AOC's handler. I'm no doubt they're friends and colleagues, but George Soros is probably their handler. Boom. There you go. All right, that's it. Links to everything below. Do all your Amazon shopping. I'm an Amazon affiliate link. It's linked down below. Mark it. All right, I'll help the boomer and use my computer to buy my stuff. And I'll see you guys later, Toodles.